Hey guys, it's Daniel's son, and this is my free but broken Audi TT. At the beginning of this year, Hoovy gave me this car as a Christmas present. It's a 2002 Audi TT Quattro. Quattro means that it's all-wheel drive, it has the 1.8 turbo, and it has 225 horsepower. Now before Hoovy gave me this car, he already had put so much money into it. And the car from the outside looks great. But when he handed me the keys, he also gave me some parting words.
I feel like you're the only man that can get it across the finish line, right?
Now what did he mean by that? Let's take a look. Okay, so before we put the Audi on the lift, I want to give you guys an update on the fleet. As you guys know, we just finished the Silverado. This thing is running great. And I know some of you guys were asking me roughly how much it costs to put this thing back together, and not including the ECU because I did not pay for it. It came to around $400 to $4,500, which I didn't really save that much money, but now I know that this thing has completely been gone through. The engine's fine, the transmission's pretty much new, and this thing has many miles left to drive. So I got another major update for the channel, and it's the Turbo Fiat. This car is mine now. As you can see, I put the bumpers on and the roof, and the reason is I thought we were gonna sell it, and that's why I got it ready. I was kind of just buttoning it up, getting it ready, safe and everything, and Wizard approached me with the title of the car and told me, here you go, buddy, a little birthday present, and I am extremely grateful. I was thinking about buying the car from him. It's just the funds weren't there just yet, and he decided to give it to the channel so we could keep building it, making it better, making it faster, and I think this is awesome. So definitely stay tuned if you want to see more content on this one. Now the other update for the channel is the Saab. Wizard gave me this car because a customer apparently didn't want to fix it. He said, I'm not gonna go get it, and he just gave us the title, and then me and Juniorman drew straws, and this is what I won, the rusty Saab that doesn't run right. So I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do with this car. Maybe I'll fix it on the channel, maybe I'll scrap it. I have no idea. It is not worth it. But then again, this is YouTube, so we put money in cars that are not worth it. So we'll see.
Are you sure this Audi's gonna fit on this?
Well, we might line it up and then push it just to be careful. I still have to move that back a smidge because I think you have to kind of slide it underneath. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I think the best way is to put the Audi where I want it and then put the jack underneath. Because if I try to line it up with the jack, I'm gonna hit a wheel, I'm pretty sure. I don't think my idea is working. I think I have a better one. Okay. Okay. There you go. Okay. Come on. Come on. Logan, I think I need help. I gotta push it on here. There we go. Okay, I think that's as far as it'll go. Come on, old blue.
Come on, Blue. Do it. Do it. Do it.
So that worked a lot better. So now we just gotta set the lift arms and we can go up. I tried to outsmart the lift. Maybe wasn't the best idea, but I got it on there correctly now. It's actually a really good lift because it has a nice cutout where I can see most of the exhaust, which was kind of my concern when we went up with this car. But now we're gonna check underneath the hood, and yeah. Oh, now we're gonna take a look under the hood. I found it. Yes. That right there is the 1.8 turbo. Now, as you can see, it might be missing a few things here and there. It has some nice aftermarket parts that make the check engine light turn on, I'm pretty sure. We have some major issues, starting with the timing belt cover. So you can see the timing belt cover right here is missing. Now, the reason that it's not good is any rock, debris, or whatever that falls in there falls in between the belt and one of the cogs. It'll mess up the timing. It could slip the belt off. Oil can get in there. That is a major problem, and that's missing. So we need to find one and replace that ASAP. Now, we also have a bunch of missing vacuum hoses. As you can see, the solenoid is plugged in, but nothing's plugged to it. They just capped it. This is not good. We need to find either a way to delete this permanently if it's not being used, or to put the vacuum lines back in. Now, I know some people will delete stuff from these cars. I guess it was a common thing, but I haven't looked into it. Now, it's the other thing that was kind of weird. I think this is for the washer fluid. Actually, no, that's a vacuum line. Oh my goodness, I didn't look at it right. So yeah, that's a vacuum line made out of like washer fluid line. As soon as I got the car, I decided to check the oil, make sure everything was good, and the whole oil dipstick, the whole tube just came out with it. So as you can see, that's a brand new part. I had to replace it. If not, I can't drive the car because I'm pretty sure that thing would have just started spitting oil out, and now that's not good. Now over here is one of our aftermarket parts, this diverter valve, which simply what it does is it diverts some of the extra pressure whenever the butterfly closes, and it kind of builds excess pressure here. It'll actually send it through the diverter valve, and it'll open up, and it'll send it back to the front of the turbo to be able to keep that turbo spooling. It just kind of sends that extra air back through the intake. It recirculates it. It diverts it back to the turbo to keep that turbo spooling whenever the butterfly closes, because that's when you shift. You kind of lift up the gas, you press the clutch in, you shift, and you go back in. You know the drill if you know how to drive a manual. So that's just to help the turbo to keep that boost where you want it when you shift. Now this one over here is the oil catch can. Obviously this is aftermarket, and as you can see, they didn't really do a good job with the clamps. It doesn't look that great, and they decided to zip tie it there, even though there's a hole back here, which Logan pointed out. So we're probably gonna do something a little nicer, maybe mount it on there with some nicer lines. It doesn't look like somebody did it in their backyard. Over here, we have another unplugged solenoid to see what that does. I still don't know what it does, but it's plugged into the intake there. So that's unplugged. They didn't bother capping that off or removing it, or why they even unplug it. Maybe that's part of the issues with the check engine light. And then over here, we have a small air filter. Now this is on here because Tyler put that on there, because it was missing. It didn't have any air filter. I guess they were driving it like that. Maybe they wanted to hear the whoosh sound from the turbo a little bit louder. But yeah, Tyler put that one on there, so at least a car, the engine wouldn't grenade from all the dust and dirt going in there, or dirty up the mass airflow sensor, which, mind you, it doesn't work. So the car's all the way up, and as you can see, this is as high as it'll go. Now the reason I'm using this lift is because I'm not gonna use one of the main lifts. Those actually make money. This one, we don't use it that much, so it's perfect for what we're gonna do here. So when Hoovy gave me this car, the tires on it were completely shredded. Now I'm really happy that he did not replace them, because I already had a set of tires in mind. Now these are kind of budget-friendly performance tires, and I thought it would be a good idea to kind of combine it with the all-wheel drive to see what this car would do on corners. Now these right here are the Zestino Acrova 07A. Like I said, these are budget-friendly performance tires. You can see the threads actually look really nice on it. Now, I am not a sponsor of these tires, okay? I've never used them before. I bought them with my own money, so we'll see. We'll try them on the road and see if they're worth the money. Now, to be able to look underneath here, I need to be in this little stool or chair or whatever you want to call it. So we can start by looking at the power steering pump. It is puking power steering fluid. I already cleaned this and sprayed it and all that stuff and put some leak trace powder, and it's leaking from the seam. I already tightened the bolts. That didn't help, so we are gonna have to replace that. There's no other way around that. Now if you look up here, this is the oil filter, and then right here is the oil filter housing. Now that housing has a seal back there because it runs, I believe this one runs coolant through it to kind of cool the oil down, and it's leaking. So it takes a while, but it'll start dripping down, and it'll cover all this in oil, which is a pain. So we're going to be replacing that as well. Up here by the front of the engine or side of the engine, this would be the front. There's a leak right here. I don't know where it's coming from. I think it's coming from the valve cover, which we are also going to address. So the oil pan is not leaking. I already cleaned it. That oil is just coming from up there somewhere, which is fine because we're going to address all of the seals to make sure this engine doesn't leak anymore. Now right here we have the intercoolers. Now it has two, one on this side and one on the other side. Now you should not be able to see this, and the reason you're seeing this is because the tire has rubbed through the factory fender liner. Now this happened with the old tires, and when the car was slammed to the ground, it rubbed through these, and now these are not protected from the back, so any rocks or whatever, it's gonna eventually break this, and we're gonna have to replace it, which I don't want to. So we're going to try to see if we can find the covers and the fender liners to make sure that those are protected, because the only air that should be going through here should be from the front, not from the back, not from the side. We don't want that because that means it's also coming with rocks and dirt. So we need to fix that too. Now we have a warning light for the traction control, and it's because of this little guy right here. You can see that's not supposed to do that. That's supposed to be attached to this sensor up here. You can see the little plastic broke off. So now the car does not know what the height of the suspension is, and because of that is like you have no more traction control, which means is extra fun in the snow. Now the madness does not end there. The interior also needs some love, and you can see right here on the top, the headliner is being held up by some thumbtacks, some needles. Over here it's already falling apart. Unfortunately, the piece underneath is broken, so we're going to have to figure something out for that. Luckily, the seats, a plus. They look really nice. They're not too torn. And but unfortunately, on the driver's side, the handle that kind of lets the seat move forward, it's broken. So we're going to try to fix that if we can. But I know that we're not going to find any blue seats that easily. So I'm not too worried about that. The other thing too, right here underneath the instrument cluster area behind the steering wheel, this knee bolster, I think it's called, you can see it's about to fall off. And that's because all the clips that hold it from the top are broken, missing. I don't know. It's only being held in by 2 screws at the bottom. Some of the typical Audi interior parts that break, it's like this radio cover that doesn't stay locked anymore. And I could really use that because look at the radio. It's missing all the buttons. All the paint has been scratched off. And yeah, that radio doesn't sound that well because it's now missing a speaker that we had to unplug that kept sounding like an airplane just taking off. Just it was annoying. We unplugged that thing. We'll get some speakers later. And then over here, the glove box. Right here, it's missing the little lever that you pull because it broke. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to fix that because there's no blue glove boxes anywhere. And it's the actual entire piece. It's not just the silver piece. Now I have to be a little bit realistic here. I'm not going to be able to fix every last piece of this interior. We'll do our best. Just because it's blue is extremely rare. I already kind of looked on your normal sources like eBay, Facebook, and stuff like that. I even went to like some overseas websites and some like local groups. And it's just, they're rare. It is what it is. So we're going to keep it realistic. We're going to fix what we can. And then the rest, we're just going to have to learn to live with it. Now that I've showed you everything wrong with this car, it is time to tear it apart. And we're going to start by removing the entire drivetrain. Now that I got that whole front face removed, that front bumper, all of that stuff, we have all this room in here. Now, the biggest issue when taking that thing off is gonna be these coolant adapters. These coolant pipe adapters, they are a pain. You remove the clip out and you can pop these off, but when they're old, they just don't wanna come out. Also, these Audi connectors, they are not my favorite. Okay, you're supposed to pull that tab back and then the connector pops out, but those tabs are always full of dirt and they're extremely hard to pop off. So not a fan of these either. But now that we have all this room, I'm just gonna keep hacking away of all the hoses, all these extra stuff that I can remove to make my job easier to get to the engine mounts and all of the stuff underneath as well. So I think we are ready to go. We got to put the cherry picker on there and then unbolt the last two mounts and pull the engine out. So what do you think, Logan? Are we ready?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like you got everything, right?
Yes. Whenever the engine does not come out, that means pull harder, right?
Right.
Yes. Okay. So with that in mind, let's go for it and yank this thing out. That can be a rear-wheel drive car. Look at that. Like a 2J. So we finally got the engine out. Now, it was not completely without incident. We do have a broken bolt on the AC compressor right here. This bolt right here that holds this line, that thing was rusted. I moved it back and forth, soaked it, but in the end it just broke. So I'm gonna have to find a way to remove that bolt because I'm not gonna replace the AC compressor. Now everything else seemed like it came out just fine. Obviously there's a lot of stuff that we need to replace that has been not properly fixed. Now we also have the oil cooler leak right here, so we're gonna replace that gasket, and you know, we're also gonna give it a bath because it really needs it. We're gonna be tearing the engine down just to see what else we need. So we're gonna remove all the accessories and start ordering all the parts that we need to put this engine back together so it's completely resealed, so there's no leaks, there's no issues, and it's 100% reliable. Now, one of my main concerns and kind of the main reason why I pulled this engine out, apart from just making sure that the clutch is okay, which I think it is, but we're still gonna take a look, maybe throw one in there just because. But the main reason was the turbo. The turbo seems to be working just fine, but I wanted to see if maybe it needed some love, some attention, just make sure that the seals were fine. But we also had an exhaust leak. I don't know where the exhaust leak is coming from exactly, but I know that these 4 bolts were loose, so I'm assuming that it probably just kind of blew a hole on the gasket while it was loose, but all these 3 bolts just kind of rattled loose. Now we do have a little bit of play on the shaft here. Now I'm hoping still within spec because I don't really want to replace this turbo, but I think I might have to. I think I might have to bite the bullet and replace the turbo. It's just, they're not cheap, at least not the good ones. Now, I think I forgot to mention that this car has a check engine light. Now, one of the codes for that is this O2 sensor, which we're going to go ahead and replace. Now, the other thing that I would love to replace is this downpipe. Apparently, on these cars, they're known to be restrictive. So, getting a new, more open downpipe would be better. But now, we only really have some cheap options available from what I can see. I still don't know if I want to replace it with one of those. So, we're going to keep looking. Now to begin the teardown on this engine, I'm gonna start here at the turbo because I really wanna find out what that exhaust ticking noise is because it's extremely annoying. That right there is our problem. That's our ticking noise. This is why I tightened it, and the ticking noise did not go away. So we need a new one of those. Now that I took the turbo off and found out what that annoying noise was, I decided to go ahead and take the valve cover off, and this is actually very, very clean. I was expecting it, being 150,000 miles, being a car that probably hasn't been taken care of that much, that this would be full of just crud and just caked on disgusting oil, but it's not. It's actually really clean. And as you can see right here, this is a 5-valve engine. So you have 2 exhaust, and then over here you have 3 intake. So this third one, it's not like VTEC, it's actually working all the time. It actually opens all 3 valves, and that's actually really cool. It's the Ferrari engine on the 360, and actually the 355, which you can probably see right there in the background, is also a 5-valve engine, which I really like. Now the next thing is to go ahead and remove all the accessories. The only thing I'm going to leave on is the timing belt until I get the new one, so I can just uninstall and install the new one without leaving it apart for a week. I don't want that camshaft to move or anything like that while I'm not, paying attention. Now that we got all the accessories off, we are going to work on this side of the engine to remove the intake, the oil filter cooler, and anything else that's in here. Oh, and possibly the thermostat. I think the thermostat is back here. Now, real quick, this oil cooler is actually leaking from the seal. Now, the oil cooler is exactly what it sounds like. You got coolant running through it, and it'll actually cool down the oil going to the oil filter and come back out. Now, side note, this right here is the oil feed line for the turbo, so it also cools down a little bit that oil going to the turbo. And we're gonna go ahead and replace the seal. We're also gonna check it internally, make sure it's not really corroded, because if it is and it springs a leak, it can actually mix oil and coolant, which it's not good at all. So you got to make sure that thing is actually working good, because we don't want anything like that, because that could destroy the engine if you get coolant in your oil. So the last thing that we're gonna do on this teardown is to pull the transmission off to see the condition of the clutch. No, I'm not gonna pull pistons out or anything like that. That is way too much. I don't wanna get into that. And as far as I know, the engine's healthy. So let's see what the clutch condition is. Let's go ahead and pull out this differential and then the transmission. I suspected the clutch was gonna be bad, but not this bad. This thing is horrible. I've never seen a flywheel or a pressure plate in this case that started to melt from the heat. Over here, it has like patches that is actually not even smooth. That's actually pretty coarse. Good thing it's getting a brand new flywheel. This is a dual mass flywheel, and a brand new pressure plate and clutch, and obviously a throwout bearing, which is over here on the transmission. And we're gonna clean everything up so it's a nice clean slate to go back together. Well, the more I took apart, the more the dollar signs stacked up. It actually got a little scary, but we finally got it all apart, and it's right there, just waiting for me to make a list to put it back together. Now, Hoovy definitely gave me a hoopty, but he also told me to bring it to the finish line, and I intend to do so. Now, all we have to do is maybe in the next video, work on it some more, maybe put the engine back in with some new parts. So I'm definitely excited for that, and I definitely have to say thank you to Hoovy, because he gave me this car, so I'm able to make videos for you guys, and I really couldn't have done it without him. And I'm sorry for messing up all these words. It's just English is still difficult for me, but yeah, I will see you on the next video.